Welcome to this little podcast. Hopefully, I will be able to shed some light on some things that many people ask me questions about regarding my teachings and my method. Aspire is a way of life. It is not a TV program. It is not a radio program. Aspire is the breath of spirit. That's what it means. And what I try to offer to people is a transformational way to live their life. Not to live it in the smallness of mind and body, but outside that idea. And anyone can do it. It is a way of life. We begin with meditation. I was instructed in India by Eastern masters and teachers the art of Tibetan pulsing. It is a rare one. In Tibetan pulsing, we are looking at the 7 chakras as the inner body. And we awaken these 7 chakras and utilize them with tone and breath pattern. Each and every quarter, I give my students new Tibetan pulsing meditations that I learned in India many years ago. The breath patterns themselves, along with the tonal qualities in the background, work on the conscious and the subconscious mind to awaken you, not to deaden you, but to awaken you. And once these meditations are allowed, you're going to find a change in your attitude, a change in the presence of what you operate from within yourself. You'll see insight. You'll have insight. Many of my students have had satori's, brief moments of awakening, some for a few moments, some for a few hours. By doing these meditations, they are extremely accumulative. They accumulate within you, helping you wear away at the ego and the pride and the jealousy and the vanity. It causes a tremendous amount of transformational energy. This energy can be translated into your life in many different ways. It's all up to you. The next thing I offer to support my meditations is something I call coaching sessions. Now, these coaching sessions can be set up in hour increments every week, which is best, or half-hour increments every week, or whatever it is that works with your schedule, and anything I can do to help you. In my coaching sessions, I help students with barriers that they are having with their lives and their practice. When you start working the Tibetan pulsing meditations, you're going to find the ego gets annoyed, or that it starts setting up new traps or difficulties for you. What I offer in my coaching sessions is a way to understand the nature of that ego, that pride, or whatever it is that is eating away at you, and how to apply your life principles of love, forgiveness, and compassion, mercy to the whole situation, thus freeing yourself. You will find my coaching sessions direct. I give homework, I give journal work, and I talk about in the sessions what is going on in your world, in your life, and how to put aside the mind a little bit, that you might have a very beautiful experience, one that is greater than maybe your life has ever known before. I do a great deal of coaching and helping with people. I like to think of it as coaching their meditation practice, urging it on, helping them get beyond the barriers of mind, of fear. I highly recommend my coaching sessions for you. It might be good for you if you're just thinking about beginning a practice to call me and let me help you in the beginning, because the first meditation I always ask you to work with is either heavy breathers or energy momentum 1. And then we move on from there to deeper meditations. If you go to the first page of this website, you will see new meditations. You will also see there in the middle of the page meditations where to begin. You can click on those, take a look. I think you'll find them very helpful. And I would suggest anyone thinking about doing any of this, working on themselves and having a practice, that you begin with stage 1. My workshops. They are essential. My workshops are a prelude to my Asilomar retreats that I offer 3 times a year. These Asilomar retreats are very important events in my life and in my students' lives. We immerse ourselves in an energy. At the workshops, both up here in Northern California and down in San Diego at the Encinitas Community Center, I offer 2 new meditations and ambient music. The 2 new meditations are a prelude of things I want my students to start to work upon to ready themselves for the Asilomar retreat that will be coming up either in the summer, in the fall, or in the spring. I also give them new journal work at that time. They have a theme that we're working on each and every year. So we're working on something at a workshop that will be of tremendous significance, not only to the people who are my regular students working upon themselves, but to the new people who can come in and again practice any of these Tibetan pulsing meditations at any level and enter into a practice. It is a wonderful experience to come to a workshop. We have a wonderful time. There's a lot of laughter and there is a lot of inner work. You are totally invited, and it's an integrated part of your practice to be there. Let's talk about Asilomar retreats. Nothing could be more important than coming to an Asilomar retreat. It is the only chance you will ever get to put away all of your concerns and your cares, and to come to a moment inside your life where you are immersed in an energy of total love. These Asilomar retreats are meditations, Gestalt therapy, and you have to see a Gestalt to really understand it. There is a great deal of energy work done in the summer meditation, walking meditation, Vipassana meditation, and of course the usual Tibetan pulsing work that I do in the spring and in the fall. So you will find my Asilomar retreats a way of coming home within yourself. It is a way of practicing kindness and compassion and being with fellow students who, like yourself, are on the path and want to achieve just what you are seeking to achieve in your life. It's a wonderful camaraderie, a wonderful oneness, and a chance to bring your life back from the dead to life. I offer newsletters, message of the month, and discourses as well to support my students. And each and every month, I offer them a newsletter that is basically the basis of their study for the month. The message of the month for those of you who are kind enough to be sponsors, which talks about that theme. And of course, the depth of my discourses, which come from not only years and years and years of practice, but many years of training in India. You will find my offerings there a study kind of guide for the whole entire month. That's how I made it. So you would have something to read, something to listen to that would help you understand the theme, and then something as far as discourses are concerned that give you a sense of basis for a spiritual practice. It's all there for you, and it's all there to support your practice. Aspire is not a television program. I did it as an invitation. But it's an invitation only to certain kinds of people. People who have had enough of living the way they have. They've had enough of their anger, their fear, their futility. They find themselves in a cul-de-sac. And they are done with living in that cul-de-sac and they want out. Aspire is a way of life to live gently in the world, but not let the world live in you. You have to be ready for it. You have to be willing to sacrifice your old life patterns, your old beliefs, You have to be willing to immerse yourself in this, to retool yourself, as I like to think of it. Not reinvent, retool. Where you come from a different place inside, the breath of spirit, rather than the intoxication of anger and fear and hatred. To be a student with me, you have to be willing to let go of your past, not worry about your future, and be in the Zen moment of now. If you've had enough of everything in your world, if you've had enough futility and pain and sorrow, if you're done living your life according to the way your mind has dictated it, then you are ready to enter into this thing called a spiritual practice. What I offer is not mamby-pamby. It is a discipline, but also mixed with a great deal of playfulness. And the human is allowed as well. So you're working upon yourself authentically. You're not reading a book from time to time, occasionally watching a program here or listening to a program there and thinking you got it. There's so much more to this thing called Aspire. I hope you will come and join us. If you would like more information, please feel free to call me, 831-622-8410. In everything I do, from my meditations to my coaching sessions to my workshop retreats, my commentaries that I send out weekly, the newsletter, the message of the month, and the discourses, they are all there to be of service to humankind, to be of service to you. Please forgive me. Namaste.